It's not. No reverse. That's first. I just heard a clunk. What is going on, you guys? jacobrdoty here, back from my vlog, and today it's gonna be a short update on the Mustang and why I haven't been posting. Basically, right now the Mustang is down. I cannot drive the car. The clutch, I installed a mantic clutch with a buddy at a shop. Things did not go so well, so I can't get into any gear. It's basically gotta be either air in the line or a flip clutch disc. I was talking to Jeff over at Mantic. Mantic and Jeff have been super helpful throughout the whole process trying to help troubleshoot it. That's not something they necessarily have to do. So I really appreciate Jeff being there for me. So highly recommend Mantic and Jeff over there. So let me give you guys a little bit of background on what all happened. So I go over to a buddy's shop. We go ahead, put it on the lift, start getting everything undone. Everything's going pretty smooth. We pull off the stock clutch. It was looking fine. Obviously, I didn't have issues with that. It was just the stock clutch doesn't let you into the next gear. However, then we started building the clutch, which is the mantic. And these things are very particular with the way that they have to go in and how everything bolts together. There's these studs, which I'll probably show in a different video, but there's like these studs and these blocks and everything needs to be torqued down to spec. The floating discs have to be angled the right way, I guess. Not really angled, but they have to be slid on the right way. So let me give you guys a little bit of the background on how this all went down. Is I had an agreement with a buddy to use his shop, and we went to go ahead, put it on the lift. We started on it. Everything was going smoothly, things were coming off, and we had the proper tools. Like, this was a nice garage, had a full warehouse of tools basically at our disposal. And we started taking things off, everything was going smooth. And then we went to go ahead and build the clutch, which I was kind of walking around. I think I went to the bathroom or something, and I can't verify exactly if the clutch discs were put in properly. And so when I did some research online, even the LS guys, like the C606 guys, the SS guys, stuff like that, that have McLeod discs or even other brands discs, I guess whenever you accidentally install the clutch disc improperly, so it says like pressure plate side or flywheel side, since I personally cannot verify if that was put in correctly just because I wasn't paying attention, my own fault, you live and you learn, then I will probably need to go ahead and have a shop do it. I have reached out to Paramount Speed over in Chico, California. This car will be up on a AAA flatbed because I don't want to drive it right now the way it's messed up. So it'll be flatbedded over to the shop, and then I'll probably be recording there. I asked him if it's okay if I record, so probably just take the day off and go over there and just record everything so that way we can get it fixed. Mike over at Paramount even said if we get it over there early enough in the morning, which I'm planning on AAA coming as soon as possible, like at 6 a.m. as best as I can because they're pretty far away, like 2 hours, then maybe we can actually drive the car home. So I'll have a buddy, Oscar, the guy with the GT500. We're gonna take the daily and follow the truck with my car just to make sure everything's okay. And then hopefully I can drive the car home, or Oscar, I'll reward him for going with me and sticking by me because Oscar, you're a real one for helping me out. But yeah, basically the install, just something went wrong. I think it's a clutch disc that's flipped. When I spoke to Jeff at Mantic, all he said was it has to either be a clutch disc is flipped or air. And he stuck by that from the beginning. And I know it can't be air because Brandon over at Ford, he's one of my Ford guys. He let me use his evac kit with the Matco like Might Evac or whatever. And we just kind of pressure bled everything, like vacuum bled it, which is the way that Ford does it. And we did it probably 10 times. I even let vacuum sit overnight just to verify if like gravity will bleed it. I did the pumping of the clutch a million times. I have clutch pressure, which I didn't have before, like it was going in and out. So I think it's good now because the car's been sitting. I still have clutch pressure. So wouldn't that kind of release over time, or if the air, I don't know. I just think that there's no air in the lines anymore. The vacuum bleeding definitely helped out, so good thing we did that. However, won't really matter because we're gonna have to pull everything out because I think a clutch disc is actually flipped. So yeah, it can't be air. It's gotta either be a clutch disc flipped or something else is binding up, because I can go into every gear when it's off, except when it's on, it just doesn't wanna let you into gear. So actually I have the keys on me. I'll show you guys. I don't wanna beat on my car too much, but I do wanna show you guys what issue I'm having. But like I said, I did some research even on the McLeod guys that have C606s and everything like that. It seems like it's a common problem, and people are like, I swear I put in the clutch disc right, and then they go and check it, and obviously one is flipped, and that's the whole issue. So fingers crossed, that's the whole problem, and it's just something simple, and I'll work with Paramount. We'll get that thing taken out, flip it, put it back together, and everything will be good to go. But it's just a part of racing. I was very frustrated in the beginning. It's a part of racing. I haven't even raced the car, but I also just look into like Cletus McFarland or Garrett, and he always says, you know, things happen. And I remember on Cletus on his Leroy project, the Corvette, he originally had like something wrong with the throwout bearing where it hit the line after he put everything back up. And I remember that video because I used that because I had another issue, not a clutch thing, but something else that happened. And he said, you know, it's just all a part of it. You learn as you go. And I've never done a clutch, so I was there and I couldn't really like learn. I didn't know the knowledge to be able to tell him like, hey, double check this, double check that. So it's all just a part of the process and you have to enjoy the journey. I will say I did have to baby it home from the shop, which is about 15 miles away. And it went into gear better when I was driving it, but from a dead stop, it wants to like go forward whenever you put in the gear. It wants to jump a little bit and it doesn't take off or anything, but I could definitely tell it's not disengaging properly. That's what I feel like because it's still grabbing gear even with the clutch all the way down. So let me go ahead and just start it up, show you guys what I'm talking about. It also gives you a good excuse because this will be a cold start. It's actually pretty cold out today. So the interior is absolutely fooked. As you can see, I have the rubber boot off. I have the center console off. So this is everything like right there. You can see down to the floor around my shifter. So yeah, nothing is really like put into place properly yet, obviously because it wasn't working. So yeah, I do have a TPMS sensor from the new tires. I didn't put on the, I didn't like program the TPMS yet, so it's still on, but we're gonna go ahead. It's still kind of warming up, but I just don't wanna force anything. I have clutch pressure, and it goes to the top. It feels definitely lighter than stock. However, I do have full pressure at the top. I mean, there's that little wiggle at the top, but I compared that to my mom's car. It seems like that's totally normal. So I'm gonna say I have clutch pressure. Here we go, clutch all the way down, 4. You can't really see it, but it's all the way down. And we're gonna go ahead, throw it into third, which should be one of the easier gears. Like I'll just use my thumb. Nothing happening there. It's just not wanting to go into gear. You can kind of hear the difference maybe. It's like it's trying to engage, but yeah, it's not. No reverse, that's first. I just heard a clunk like it's trying to grab the gear. 5th, yeah, none of that's happening. So let me go ahead and shut off the car and I'll show you guys what it's actually like. I have the car off and as you can see, this is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. So nothing's really binding up in that direction. I mean, it's letting me into gear, all those. Of course, I have the clutch down just in case, but yeah, then we'll push down. That's reverse, as you can see that pin, and then it'll pop over it. Pin hits, push down, then reverse. So yeah, this all works and everything is looking fine there, but she's down for a bit. I'll have to wait until Tuesday to flatbed it. Of course, I'll be recording that and give you guys the update. That's kind of the update with the car. I haven't been able to drive it. I have the new clutch in there, and that's what I was gonna say is when I did drive it, babied it home, obviously it's breaking in the clutch, so I can't just rip on it. And also it didn't let me into gear very easily. Like I did have to kind of rev match or force it into gear sometimes, which, oh, it hurt me so bad. But we got it home because I couldn't leave it at the shop. Again, it was a buddy shop, so just circumstances weren't the way I would have liked. However, I did get it home. It was late at night, I'll say 2 a.m., and I had an exam the next day, so stressful day. But the one good side is when I was driving it, I had no, as you could hear, no neutral clutch chatter, which is a common problem for twin discs. Also, when I was able to drive it and I had clutch pressure, the engagement was really good, and the characteristics of driving were really awesome. Like, it's gonna be awesome once it's actually done. I can see why it's worth the money, but I think just the clutch disc is flipped. The problem with that is you have to drop everything again and flip it and then reassemble it. That's just a part of the game. It's just how this thing goes, and that's how cars are. There's always that one thing that happens, but you learn, and then that means for whenever I help somebody or do a twin disc clutch in the future, I will triple check which direction that clutch is facing. So yeah, I posted up on my IG. If you guys don't follow me already, I'll have the link down in the description below. I just posted up a little teaser. I really wish I had an F-150 so I could just load this thing up on a trailer and trailer it myself. I just don't have access to a truck, and I don't feel comfortable asking for other people's trucks just because I don't want to be responsible if anything were to go wrong. For that reason, I'm just gonna AAA it, and then they'll be able to take care of it. So I am gonna take off my bumper too, so that way it has no issues getting onto the AAA flatbed. So I'm kind of rambling on right now, but I just want to give you guys a quick update. It's been super sucky because the weather has been getting better, and it's like fully sunny out right now, which you guys can kind of see. Sunny blue skies, perfect day to drive. But the car's down, so I can't really drive. So it's been kind of but you know what? It'll be worth it because when this clutch is in there and it's done properly, I'm gonna be able to shift at high RPMs with out any problems and I'll be able to hold any power for the future. So it'll definitely be worth it in the long run. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, then please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.